Well, this is your old Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator Kolo. We're still moving along through the RASHASH SIDUR. Now, during Sphira, and today's the 19th day of the Sphira of the year 5786, we don't actually practice this. We stay away from kavanos, except for the kavanos that have to do with the counting, that is the bracha for Sphira Sa'omer. That is full of Rashash. But every place else, no. And the Kabbalists say that the reason is because this is a very narrow passage. It's very easy for the Kitsonius, the Kitsonim, to grab a hold of the shefa that comes as a result of this. So therefore it's kept at a minimum, it's quiet. And we know that bad things happen during this period of time. Not just one or two. And it says, and send into the depths of the sea all of their sins. And that's the internal idea. The beard of Eric Anpen is for the purpose of minimalizing his smatus. It is the tikkun, and they're called 13 tikkunim. And the beard of Eric Anpen is always, tikkun means, once again, limitation. The light of the Ein Sof is a light that is no physicality. If it's the ultimate light, it means that we would not exist if we were exposed directly to it, so it needs to be refined through these 13 tikkunim of the beard of Eric Anpen. Just imagine the face of Eric Anpen now coming to the fulcrum of the beard as it extends. And there are 13 different areas here of tikkunim. What's tikkunim? Once again, it's hismatus, it's limitation of the light. Each one of them is a different kind of a channel. And as a result of that, the light of the Ein Sof has to pass through these channels, and it diminishes one inside the next as it goes outwards. Until we get to there's a special quality of the 8th and the 13th tikkunim, which are called the mazalot. Now, I want to say a little bit more about this. So it says tikkuni tashi'a. This particular phrase is the 9th tikkun. Again, the outside is called la'alafim. Notzer chesed la'alafim. And the inside is this phrase. The whole thing is bigger than my ability to be able to understand what's going on, to just see what it is. So then it says this is the 9th tikkun, and it tells you where this tikkun is located on the beard of Eric Anpen. It says shuhu sa'aros. They're the hair shebein base mazalos. That is, between the 8th tikkun and the 13th tikkun are those hairs. That's this 9th tikkun. Moving along to the right, I made this a little smaller at this point because I wanted to go over the makif, the panimi, the or, and the kli, because they're moving in different directions, I believe, and let me see what happens here. The makif is hod. That is for this phrase, this is a makif of the sphere of Hod. Then the next one, which is going to be Titan Emes the Yaakov, is going to be the makif of Netzach. The next one, which is Chesed al-Lofim, the makif is going to be Tiferes, and you see that you're moving up from Netzach to Tiferes. And then you're going to move to Gevura in the makif of Asher Nishbav L'Lavosenu. And as we go, we're going like this. Each one is moving up. Now, let's look at the panimi. So this is really hard for me to process the idea of what's happening here. He said we have a light, and in the light you have a surrounding light which is going upwards. And you have a light inside of that. I'm saying it's inside of that, which is going downwards. So here's the panimi. It starts at Gevura, then it goes to Tiferes, then it goes to Netzach, Then it goes to Hod. And if we read on, as we read on, it's going to go to Yesod. So that's all the lights are going to go down that way. That is, the Panemius is going downwards, and the Kitzon and the Makif, not the Kitzon, is going upwards, just like a seesaw, something like that. Let's take a look over here at the Or. So the Or is the name is Yud. It has a Kli it fits into, which is the Aleph. So we see that Ekia has to do with being a Kli. Now you can't see it. I messed this up. Sorry. I don't know how badly I messed that up. I hope not too badly. So the Or is the Yud, and the Kli that holds the light is the Aleph. Then you go to the next letter, that is the Yud of Yud Ke Vav Ke. Then the light is the K Yud, which is the second set of letters, which is, the second letter spelled in a milui, and the Kli that holds it is the same. It's also that we're dealing with here with Havaya, we're dealing this with Akia. Then we move to the Or is going to be the Vav, which is the third letter, the Yud Ke Vav Ke. And on the word Pesha, which we say here like this, he says the Kli that holds it is going to be the Yud that exists in the name of Akia. It's the third name, third letter. And here's the fourth letter, Or, which is a Hey Yud, and he's spelling all the Heys, he's saying like in the Milui of Av. And then the final K, which is the Milui of Kasa, which comes, Kasa is 161. That's the way that is laid out. Now, more about this, we're going to see now. Now, you just said the phrase, and let me see if we get this over here. V'sashlik b'betzulas yam chachotosam, and then the phrase alafim, which is also going along, alafim, nose avon, pesha. We're going to go through all of that. He says like this, on the left side, because the left side contains just the letters. We see the name Av, and he writes the Hamtik Mispar Ekia Dehayin Im Eser Osiosov. Now, what do I know about this? This is the name called Kona, 151. Spelled out like this. That is the Gematria 151, and you take the letters, just counting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 letters onto that makes it 161, which is Kasa. It's the highest level of these are the Levushim, because we know that the Akias are the Levush. And then, I don't know what happens here. So let's see, he says Mispar, so that's the 151, and the count of the letters, 161, which is a technique that the RASHASH uses. Again, he says the hamtik, it's a way of being mamtik this. So to get to from 151 to 161. Moving on. Begam the hamtek mispar be shemos elokim, but we also want to include what we want to sweeten this too. The two names, Elokim and Adni, which both are on the left side or could be associated with Din, Vatesha Osio Sehem, and the 9 different letters that accompany them. So here he shows this. The Mispar, and once again, he's doing the same thing. He's saying, first of all, the Mispar, which is Elokim and Adni. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 letters there. They come to the Gematria. There's a Gematria we're looking for. It's 86 and 65. 1 second. I can't add it by myself, man. No way. 86 plus 65 equals 151. That's Kana. Kana is like the Malchus Dike, I don't know, I don't know what it is, if it's the Lavosh, I don't know what it is, or maybe it's Malchus itself. And then you add on to it once again the 9 letters are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9 letters. That makes it 160. And so you're taking that, let me read this right. This is 5 and this is 4. That's just 9. So he said, V'gam lahamtik Elokim d'olofim, and the idea we want to sweeten this Elokim. Elokims represent dinim. Here's the Elokim d'olofim. What does it mean by olofim? There are 3 different types of Elokims that have different gematrias. Because the Hey, the Aleph, and the Lamed, the Yud, and the Mem remain, but the Hey is a part that can change. And so when it could be Hey Yud, Hey Hey, or Hey Aleph. Here it's Hey Aleph. So we're taking it here. He said, V'gam lahamtek shach upar dinim dezun, and to bring this all idea, but take their sins, throw them away to the thousands. So he says, so then we're having, the next thing he shows us is the mansipach, which are the additional duplicate letters. I guess you call them the capital letters or the ending letters, or they're the ending letters, which are mansipach. Mem, the nun, has a long extension, the tzadi is an extension, the pei is extension, and then the kaf, so feet. Each one of these has an ability to be able to sweeten the dinim. And this is one of the major functions of learning the RASHASH, is to try to learn the technique that he uses in order to sweeten the dinim. Now, I don't know where he gets all of this from. I guess he gets it from the Rav. But it's just deep understanding of how it is that the word, the 5 additional letters, which are, I think I've seen elsewhere that they are considered to be sweetened dinim, can sweeten pure din. Now let's come over here and let's see what the written words are. Now, I'm trying to have discipline because it's difficult. This is a really difficult learning for me. So I'm trying to have the discipline to look at the depiction of the RASHASH first before reading the explanation. Now, the explanation, he says, is that when you're saying this phrase, "V'sashlik b'metzulas yam kol hotosam," and that comes from the phrase of "notzer chesed le'elofim," so he guards chesed to elofim. He says, "Yikavi lahamshe ka'ara meshem av shebenotzer chesed." So he said back over here is notzer chesed. Chesed has the word av in it. Same gematria. This is the gematria of Av. That's what he said. Now he's saying this. Yikavin lahamshech ha'ara mishem Av shebenotzer chesed. So he says that the chesed part over there is the name Av. The tikkun lo'olofim, to the tikkun where he has what he says, notzer chesed for thousands. So that's our phrase, alofim. Lahamtik osios, in order to sweet these. Now he separates them. To separate, so he says the sweeten the letters, umisbar the kana, and also the count, the 10 letters individually, and also the count of the name kana, v'osios misbar the Elokim, and also the letters which are the gematria of Elokim, and adni imakolel, and other with the kolel, ha'olim kamisbar alofim, which come to the gematria of 1,000. Now, I got to read this again because I was thinking that it was going elsewhere and just went a different place. Again, he covered Lahamshe Ka'ara Mishem Av Shebenotza. So previously, the previous tikkun had an ha'ara to it. And it's shown that ha'ara into this phrase, B'bitsulas V'sashta B'bitsulas Yam. So he said, Yakavi Lahamshe Ka'ara Mishem Av Shebenotzer Chesed. The tikkun the olafim to the tikkun of olafim over which is right here. What are we doing here? Lahamtik osios umispar dekona to sweeten. We're taking that chesed from over there, which is the name of, to sweeten the name kona. And also the osios and the mispar of Elokim, the combination of Elokim Adni. Now, what did I say? Elokim Adni means 151. There's a gematria 151 again, back to Kana again, together with the Kolel. Ha'olim Kamispar Olofim, which come to the gematria of 1,000. Now, I don't get it. I'm going to move on. So I have here just one more look at it. The osius in the count of the kon, the word kona, I get the number 161. And then he says also the mispah, the gematria of this, which is of olofim, is 300. And I guess he means the gematria of adni as well. Together with the kolel, it adds up to the word thousand. Thousands. So over here he shows us the names Elokim Adni, the mispar, and this so on and so forth, and also the count of the letters. So we're looking to sweeten that. And then he says, Begam lahante shach upar. Now the shach dinim, if you take the word din and you multiply it by 5, you get to the number 320. And par is another set of dinim. I can't remember the origin at this moment, but there's another 280 dinim. Between them, it sounds like 320 and 280 is 600 dinim. These are the dinim of Zun, which we've seen in other places that he refers to Zun as Malchus. Hamisharshim betikun olafim, that work, Misharshim served for this tikkun, the tikkun for olafim. So he says, how does this work? So let me read it again. So we're going to take the shach and the par dinim. Those are the dinim found in Zun. These dinim, hamisharshim betikun olafim, that really are going to be used to serve the tikkun of olafim. Notzer chesed la'olafim. What's the give chesed to olafim? Now the 8th tikkun, which is what really set this off, is really one of the maslos. There's a tremendous flow comes from there, a flight. Vayidei came yakavi lahashlech kol hakitorim me'olafim haroim. So he says, this is the word category in English. Haktigorim, there we go. Malachim pratim, malachim haroim. So he vayidei came by being able to use them. They really work to effect the tikkun for the olafim. Vayidei came yechavin lahashlech kol hakategorim. So all of these categories, malachim haroim, I really translated this is not the word category. It's the word mektareg, which means the criticizers. So by using this formula, he says, and let's look at the formula just real quickly once again. He says you take the kindness, which comes from the word, this is the word kind, chesed, and you bring it into the mispar to sweetening, the mispar, which is 151, and the letters, which makes it 161, to bring a sweetness there. Also, you're going to try to sweeten these two names. These are names of dinim, Elokim and Adni. So Elohim and Admi is 151 again. And then the number is going to be 160. In the Kolo, you're back to 161 again. V'gam Nahamtik Elohim Deholofim. So here we have this Elohim, which is the gematria of 291. So you're going to take that name, and we're going to want to sweeten it. V'gam Laham. So he want to sweeten it, I guess, with what the sweetening power of this chesed is from up above here. Is continuing all the way on until these two names of these two dinim. And he says also the same gam lahamtik Elokim deholofim, also to sweeten this Elokim, the Elokim which is spelled out like that, like this, with a hey aleph, 291. Hey yud is 300. Hey is 295. All of these has a significance. Don't really know exactly what, how, but I know that 151 is the bottom. So it's the Malchusdika aspect of it, if it's possible to say that V'gam Nahamtik Shachel Pardinim Dezun. Also, we're going to sweeten them by bringing the 5 additional letters, which are dinim. So he's telling me, first of all, that letters themselves are dinim. But these 5, the extra 5, the mansapach, they come in to sweeten this. They are sweeteners. They're dinim, but they're sweetened dinim. All of this. So the letters themselves are dinim, because why? They refract the light. The light is behind them, and they're a dark spot and makes an impression. Well, this is Baruch. These are my thoughts about this. Tomorrow, with Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to go through Tita Nemes Yaakov, Chesed Abraham, Nose Abba Befesha. Remember, inside and outside, the beard has an outside, which is what we remember. This is the prayer of the 13 Tikkunim of Moshe Rabbeinu. Just to look into Mansapach. And how is it possible that it has the power to sweeten?